Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in to Pace Yourself. Today we're going to be talking about block pricing tiers in Salesforce CPQ. So this is one of the price options that CPQ enables for you, utilizing it within Salesforce, and we're going to have a look at what it looks like on an actual product. So the product we've got here today is actually a maintenance training product. So it's something that someone would be able to attend and the customer would be able to book a few people into, for instance. So there's a few things we have to make sure is specifically picked for this product to fall into the block pricing category. So we have to make sure it's active. We're just going to go scroll down to our pricing method on CPQ, and you can see here it's already selected for block. And we're going to go up to related lists, and you can see here we've got our block pricing already set up. And then of course we've got our standard price book. So being a block pricing, it's actually not going to honor the standard price book entry. This just means it makes it eligible to be sold. So you have to have that standard price book for it to be sold to a customer. So when do you use block pricing? Block pricing is for when a quantity the customer purchases influences the list price used. So if you wanted the price, if you purchased one item or if you purchased 10 items to be the same, but yet if someone purchased 11 items it would be different, that would be block pricing, and we'll go into the tiers shortly. So it means that there is a flat rate fee for any quantity in that tier. So let's go ahead and have a look at our block pricing. So I'm going to go ahead and click Edit All. And you can see here that we've got our block pricing shown. And on the left, we've got our price name, which isn't reflected onto the user's side or the customer side, just for admin purposes. The lower bound is actually the first quantity that qualifies for this pricing. And the upper bound is exclusionary. It's actually the first quantity that no longer qualifies for this pricing. And you can see the last tier, we've actually left the upper bounds blank. So for instance, if I had actually put in here an upper bounds of say 61, and then a sales rep comes through and a customer requires 62, CPQ will actually throw an error to the sales rep, because according to CPQ, there is no price linked to 62 products. Because the product, remember, is under that price method block. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that. You can see here our first tier is only $500. And then it goes up in increments that may be slightly cheaper depending on the business case. So on the left-hand side, you can also see a price book. You get the option of selecting a different price book, so you can dictate if there is a block pricing based on different price books. So you can have different block pricing for different price books. So let's look at the example case that if you have the maximum tier of over 50 participants and anything over and above that, you want to charge at a per unit rate. So you want to charge 51 participants at the $2,000, but then everyone over the top of that, you want to charge a per person price. So what we're going to have to do is go ahead and create that. So I'm going to head over to my block pricing object. In our block pricing object, I'm going to create a new currency field. That currency field is going to have required names so that the API and CPQ can register that as what we require. So what it has to be is overage rate. Going to make that our field label and make sure our currency length and our decimal places are showing as well. So now that's been created, I'm going to head back to my block price editor and hit refresh. Now you can see that we've actually got our overage rate underneath our price for that tier has popped up underneath that. So this is relevant for the business case we just spoke about, which is what happens after 51 participants is we want it to be charged at a per person rate. So I'm going to type in our overage rate in here, which is $50 per person thereafter. Going to go ahead and click save and head back to our related block pricing. So that's now been reflected in our change. So now we're going to go ahead and see what this looks like on a quote. I'm going to go open my pre-created quote here with our product that is our maintenance training course. And we can see here our first quantity is at the $500 we had specified. And then we're going to say the next one is 16. Quickly calculate that one. And you can see the price has now changed. But what about our business case where it was 51 was our lower range? And then thereafter, it should be charged at the per person rate. So let's put in our 52. And there you have it. You can see that we have added that $50 per person. And I can give it another example. It should increase by another $50, which is exactly what it's done. So you can see our block pricing has been very accurately represented in our quote, and it definitely did what we needed it to do. It was $50 for that first tier. For our second example, it was $800. And then our 51 and per person after that was $50 on top of everyone I added as a quantity after that. So that's our block pricing tiers for CPQ Salesforce. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Mia Pacey, and this is Pace Yourself. Remember to subscribe.